Hello, Maximiliano Contenti, the director of Red Screening. Thank you for joining us here at Zoom. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in Spain, but I'm okay.
Yeah, because I was preparing to set over to Uruguay and Montevideo, but you actually are in Europe, in Spain, on a festival.
Yeah, yeah. I went to Sitges just now. I was able to come to Spain thanks to my country that was lucky to not have much problem with the pandemic. I was able to travel,
Yeah,
so I'm here, and actually, my father lives here in Spain.
yeah,
So I met my father. Yeah.
that's good. First of all, we haven't screened your movie yet.
Oh,
It's the midnight screening tonight.
oh,
So this
awesome.
is going to be kind of a longer introduction to the movie, and we'll try
Okay,
to have it spoiler free. but
sure.
uh, but first of all, tell us something about this movie called Red Screening. A short introduction.
Well, it's a movie that was inspired in from many sides, but mostly was inspired by a location, a cinema. Actually, the inspiration was the cinema theater, the theater that was shot. I was doing a commercial long time ago, years ago, and in this cinema, and which was a cinema I went when I was a kid. One of the first movie theaters I went in the 90s. So it's connected with that the period of the movie. And I looked around when I was shooting this commercial, and I was like, this location is calling me. This there's a movie. There's a horror movie here. We were very few, and it was big, operatic, very old movie theater, which was a theater before, with a lot of history in Montevideo, in the center of the city. And it was kind of like calling me, kind of like the mansion of The Shining in a way. Like it was like a character, and said like there's a story here. There's a horror story.
Yeah, and as you tell, it's in the cinema and it's called Red Screening. And I've I see it. I run a cinema. I'm except from this festival, I do the cinema all year, and I thought it was a kind of blood red love letter to the cinema.
Of course, it's a love letter, a horror love letter to the cinema experience.
Yeah,
And actually, in a way, it's about the death of an experience. In that period of time, it was the death of those big cinemas. The movie experience was going to the multiplex in the malls and all that. And now, well, of course, this wasn't planned. This was a homage to the period of time when I fell in love with going to the movies, and I decided to make movies when I was a kid, and I went to this kinds of theaters. But it happened that with this year and what happened, it got connected even more with the thing that the cinemas were closed all over the world, and suddenly it was I don't know, on point with what was happening. That
hmm.
happened, yeah.
But actually, you told me before we start that the cinemas in your home country was reopened now, and your movie was the first.
Yes, we reopened the theaters. We were the first screening. We were the first movie from Uruguay to open. And yeah, it was crazy because it happened. In a way, I was very nervous. What will happen with people and with the whole thing? Will they come? Everything was freaky, and yeah, it was very well received and enjoyed with the, I don't know, with everything that was happening. I think it got a very good reception.
Yeah.
Yeah, we open up the commercial theaters and the independent. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still in theaters right now.
Oh, great. We would
Just
actually.
locally, just locally. Not in any other country.
Oh,
It's in Uruguay and right now over there.
everyone's that is going to watch the movie see that we, of course, should have screened it in our theaters. But let's make it digital this year. Maybe we can screen it later sometime. But I believe when I saw the movie, you was talking about some inspirations, and it's kind of like an 80s movie set to the 90s, produced now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about little about those inspirations? And
Yeah, that was kind of inevitable with me because I'm a 80s kid that fell in love with the 80s films, I guess. I especially with well, a lot of influences. But when I was a kid, I watched a program on TV that had a lot of horror movies shown like back to back, and I was very little, and I got a lot of slashers, but also more B movies, more raunchy,
I
um,
see a little bit of Giallo movie in it.
and of course, yeah, that's one of the big inspirations, the giallos, and there's homages all over the place,
Yeah.
and then the Spielberg factory, it's from the 80s, was a big influence too, because I like to think of the movie as a sort of as a horror adventure in a way. It's a horror with mixed with action adventure. That's my favorite genre actually.
Mm.
Of course, I love all genres, but I like that combination.
Mm.
Make it like a little when the thing not the whole movie has a lot of also the the pacing and the the timing of John Carpenter and those kind of things. But when the movie kicks in around the third act, it's sort of like a little like a roller coaster, like a horror house.
Mm.
I know how Tren Fantasma would be in Spanish. The Tren Fantasma,
Yeah.
like a horror roller coaster thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it combines a lot of inspirations. One that is not from horror, and I always want to mention is when it comes to setting up the world and everything is Terry Gilliam
Mm.
style,
Yeah.
and the whole artistry of his yeah,
Yeah.
just the world making with the details and the costumes, and I like that thing of making a horror fable, like very iconic and very yeah, kind of like a fable, I'll say,
Mm.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
something very like you see a frame and you know it's red screening, and you know with the costumes and with the art and everything that it's that it's defined.
And
I guess stylish, I guess, yeah.
yeah. I think we are going to let the audience watch the movie tonight. We are going. We have to. I would like to thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully, and good luck. You have. Hopefully, you get to screen it some theaters.
Sure. And I can I add something that I heard in one of the festivals that was screened in Hardline. They told me something in Germany that was really nice about this thing about that there's not screenings right now and it's virtual and everything, but the movie brings the movie theaters to the homes. That's a
Yeah.
nice thing that I heard from them. That said, this movie is gonna bring the movie theater experience to the houses. So I was left with that phrase. I liked it. So yeah,
Definitely. Definitely. Thank you. Thank you,
thank you.
Maximiliano Contenti, and let's hope we meet face to face someday.
Yeah, yeah. Hope I can be there as soon as possible. and I hope the audience enjoys the film. So yeah, thanks.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye.